Hey, y'all. It's still morning, so I can say morning, almost afternoon. Or if you're watching this in the evening, good evening. So, many of you have asked the question over the long span of my videos on YouTube. And I thought I would make an entire video. Sorry if y'all hear something. I thought I would make an entire video on this. Have I ever been in love? I don't feel like I've ever been in love with anyone before. Y'all like my haircut? Thanks. Um, I feel that I've never been truly in love with anyone before because it was not. I don't think it was love. I think it was more of you have some knowledge or some information that I like. You know what I'm saying? Or I like the way you think, or I like the way um, you see things. So I don't feel like I've ever truly been quote unquote in love with anyone. I feel like I just like how they think and how they see things and just curious mostly. So I feel being in love, I don't even know if that's a real thing or if there's even a such thing. Yeah, you said admiration. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, it's not being in love. I think most people get that confused with, being infatuated or being, in awe of someone or just liking how they are. There's something about them that you like that you want to see their perspective of. So it's not, I don't feel like it's love, you know. And the more you try to, you know, remember all the people that you thought you were in love with or you might have loved. It's like, no, why did I like this person in the first place? What attracted me to them? It wasn't anything to do with love or unconditional love. It was something that they had that you were curious about or that you wanted to know more of or more about, or they were just very interesting. And that was it. And then after the initial, infatuation wears off and is no longer there, it's almost as if you get the, how they say, oh, you get the lesson and you move forward, or this, and that. I feel like that's what it is. I don't feel like it's love at all. You said it's an energy exchange more than anything. Yeah. So um it could go either way because like when you quote unquote say that you love someone or you're in love with someone, um the opposite of that is what I don't think it's hate. I just think it's like realizing that you're not in love with someone or that love is not what you thought it was. So I feel, yes, I don't feel like I've never been in love. I feel like that I've liked what people were representing, but that's it. You said, yeah. Can a relationship work if you are not in love at all? I just told y'all what I felt love was. I felt that love is something that is more unconditional. And I don't think it has anything to do with a relationship between a man and a woman, unless, it's like, you know, unconditional. So I don't feel like I've had that. Can Black women ever see Black men as human being over being a resource? Most of us want to be respected as people and not just as a workhorse. The whole system works against us. Um, I feel that if you okay, now this is my honest opinion. If you stop taking workhorse positions, perhaps. Um, that's that's the best thing I can say. If you want to be seen as something else, do something else. Um, I just like honestly try to do other types of businesses, jobs, titles that take you away from looking or feeling as a workhorse. Which means, like, to me, honestly, like, even if it's just the name of your profession or just a title that you created, it sounds better than whatever something else is that requires you to work hard. You know what I'm saying? Um, in my experience, the only real love is love for yourself and kids. She may need to just do that exact opposite of what she's doing. I don't, oh, y'all must be talking to each other. Oh, I just wanted to shout out the members. If y'all are members, shout out to y'all. So if y'all have not been watching my videos for the last two videos, yes, I did cut my hair. Um, so yeah. What do Dusty like? Why do Dusties like career women? I don't know. I couldn't tell you because maybe they're lazy. I don't know. Hmm? I don't know. I couldn't tell you because I don't know. I mean, it's obvious why they probably do. So, I feel that also like if you've never been in love with someone and um if you both know that love is not what you thought it was, then you can't really be mad at anyone for saying, "Oh, I don't love you," or "I don't feel like I'm in love with you," because it's not something that is. So, I mean, you can like someone and you can want to get to know them, but I don't think that there is a such thing as being in love with someone unless it's all just an illusion. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of people say love is a trick so that you can procreate and reproduce. So I'm feeling that could be it too. And I feel that's why so many people can have relationships or like sex with no strings attached because they may truly know what the true meaning of love is, or that there's like no sense in the word itself. So I think that's why a lot of people can do those things. But on the other end of the spectrum, they sell the fairy tale and the story of true love, and then they also on the other end of the spectrum they sell um, the image of no strings and not having that type of relationship. So the middle ground is just knowing both sides and not adhering to either one of them. You know what I'm saying? To make whatever you want out of that. Like, okay, so do you want to take the fairy tale and the logic and mix it together, or do you want to go with one side or the other? Well, how about we just do both and pretend and act it out and just have fun with it? You know what I'm saying? Or make this a good story. So you can see it a lot on TV, on the Hallmark and Lifetime movies, where they have like the perfect family and the perfect Christmas scene on the Hallmark movies, and everything is in place and everybody's cheery and happy and there's just the right amount of snow and it's a small town that people know each other but everybody got money. Everybody's house is very nice. You know, there's always the dilemma, should I go and work at this big corporation that's offering him a lot of money, or should I stay with this dude that's too good to be true? Um, Vice versa. So the Hallmark stories are like the fairy tale version, and then the Lifetime movies are like the extreme opposite end, like how it could all go wrong. So I think like around Christmas time, when the Lifetime channel starts to make Christmas movies, it's like a mix. It's hilarious. It's like they try to make it all perfect, but there's always an issue. So there's no such thing as, a perfect, love or someone being in love and everything being perfect. There's no such thing as that. You have to create that and you have to act it out. And a lot of people are acting, like a lot of people are acting as if their relationship and their marriage or their whatever is perfect when unless you hire maids and servants to do all that work making everything perfect, I'm pretty sure that, behind closed doors, people are upset if you mess up one little thing, or if something is not in the right place, or if something doesn't look perfect, or whatever, whatever. It's like, oh my goodness. Like, okay, smile for the camera. And then it goes back into like, okay, don't touch that, don't touch that, get off of there, make sure that's clean. It goes back into that trying to have perfection. Okay, so the middle ground I would feel is like someone that allows people to be themselves and not try to fix them all the time and accept their flaws, but don't accept, you know, whatever they're trying to give you as part of their flaws, because love of self is very different. If you love yourself enough not to accept someone else's less than, but you can still, be with them, that's a whole different thing. So, um, if you love someone, like your children, that's fine. But when someone is not doing what you want them to do, and da 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 da, all you have to do is physically react or remove yourself from that situation. And that will definitely, show that actions speak louder than words. So, but you don't have to accept certain things. So the middle ground would definitely be a combination of the fairy tale and, the exact opposite. And that's what a lot of people live today. And I feel like it's always that because they give you both, and what are you supposed to do with it? Like mix it all up and make it work. Um, and some people choose to try to live on one end of the spectrum. So a lot of people try to live the perfect end. The other people they don't care. It's like whatever, f you, da, 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 I don't like, But the middle ground is where most people end up. So that's why I say, don't ever try to make people perfect. Don't try to change people. People will only change if they want to. And most of the time, it's not for you, it's for them because they see that, okay, well, if I do change, then this middle ground can be better. Not closer to the fairy tale, not closer to the craziness, but closer to the story that we're writing. You know what I'm saying? So it has nothing to do with trying to be perfect or trying to make everything, crazy and chaotic. It has everything to do with what you're creating. So those spectrums are there to see what you want, what you don't want, what you can use and what you can't use. And, you're going to create your own story out of them. It's kind of like Lego parts. You got a bunch of Legos everywhere. And he was like, okay, well, I need these pieces from over here and over here. I'm going to build something and it's going to be great. Right. So you're not going to be able to have that Hallmark movie picture perfect life. And you're not going to have to live that horror story over there. There's a middle ground. And you create it. So being in love and all those type of things, you don't have to be in love and you don't have to be out of love. You can just quote unquote have love for yourself, and also you can have love for other people. But at the same time, no one has to literally be in or out of love. You can just have it to do with what you choose, to write your story, to create your story, to live the life you want to live. So And how I came up with that is like, okay, I was always thinking back. I was always thinking, okay, what did I like about this person? What did I like about that? It's always how they were, like what they knew. It was nothing more. Some of them were looks, but after that wore off, I was done and like, okay, um, sprinkle, sprinkle, good for you. Sprinkle, sprinkle, good for you. Okay, so a lot of you guys answer your own questions, so that's fine. Like answer your own questions. I have no idea what your lifestyle is like, so I cannot tell you or give you any advice because that's definitely up to you to do what you need to do. As far as like if somebody gave you a ring and you trying to get engaged, but he ain't got no money. Well, you know what I would do. So sorry. You better go check see if that ring real. That's all I can do. Um, if he ain't got no money, you better go check see if that ring real. That's first thing I do. If he broke, how you get this ring? Is it real? Let me go check. Um, what if his diet is growth? Then don't eat his food. Eat your own food. You know, eat food from somebody else. Go out to eat. Go to restaurants, darling. You don't got to. I don't have to eat the same stuff. I mean, I don't. What's if so? You can. There's so many ways to work around issues people think are issues. For example, if you don't have the same diet, if you don't like to eat what that next person eats, then don't eat what they eat. Do your own thing. Eat your own food. Do what you gotta do. And sometimes they'll just tell you, in a roundabout way, they'll say, well, go get something else to eat then. You know, Men and women love is not unconditional anyways, but conditional. Don't believe in that fairy tale. Exactly. I think a lot of times, um, it's like it's like playing chess, and you have two sides: the fairy tale side and the chaotic side. And the point of chess is to cross over to the other player's side or to get their king. So you have to end up in the middle of the board at some point. And so that middle ground right there is where everything literally becomes black and white, or whatever the color the chess pieces are. So that middle ground is where you're creating the strategy. You're not on the opposite sides of the chessboard lined up in your order. You're trying to create the strategy for what the game is. And I would say create what you want. And some people play chess to win, some people play chess to learn strategy and how to think and how the other player thinks. It's not about winning or losing, it's about learning how someone else thinks, moves, and strategizes so that you can know them better, so that you can have, a perspective that you don't have now. That's all it is. Just like that's why opposites attract. Um, you have a woman or a man or just opposite in personalities, they attract because they want to know how they think, because they don't have that part of whatever it is that you have, and they want to learn from you. And sometimes those types of people end up being together and sometimes they don't, or sometimes they end up being friends, or sometimes they end up just saying, "Oh, I don't like you at all." But at the same time, it's what you want it to be. It's what you make it, you know. And sometimes when there are two people trying to, create a life, there's, and especially in America, there's too many new introductions like step kids, baby mamas, baby daddies, um, exes. Like all these have to factor into this strategy. And so now instead of just having two two sides, you're playing multi-dimensional chess. You have okay. So this is crazy. This is almost like, okay, so I don't have just this, opponent to beat. I gotta or strategize with, depending on how you're thinking. I gotta strategize this one, and this one. And it's almost like, okay, I gotta I gotta rise and see the board from above. I have to see it from below. I gotta see it from the side. I gotta see it from this side. So I can see every angle of the situation. And this is why a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't date nobody with kids or baby mamas or baby daddies or this, and that," because they have more to have to strategize with, you know. So that's why you have to make sure that you're wise enough, smart enough, intelligent enough, strategic enough to have to deal with any of these types of relationships, and also know that love is not your goal. Okay. It is the creation of the story from each side, how many sides you got, to create what you want. That's it. And so when you're like, okay, well, I don't know what I want, then you need to sit down and say, okay, well, I need to figure that out before I do my next move. Whatever move I'm going to make next. Uh, so if you know what you want, if all parties involved are okay with that and are ready to move to the next procedure or step in the game, or I wouldn't even call it a game, the story, then so be it. But if there's too many players, if there's too many people involved, not everyone is going to agree. So that's why you have to let some people go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes some people just gotta go so that there's less confusion. So this is where a lot of people have to choose between, oh, well, if I'm going to be in a relationship with you, you can't talk to this person anymore, or you can't deal with this person anymore, or you can't be friends with this person anymore. And some people are like, no, I'm not giving that up unless you give that up, So that's when the compromise comes in to get rid of certain people. And when you get rid of certain people, the game or the story, I'll say, because I don't like to call stuff games unless people are trying to win or lose. So if you're not in that mentality anymore of trying to win or lose, you're just trying to create a story, then the less people involved or the less writers involved, the easier it is to finish the story or to write the story or to begin the story, whatever. So you're going to have to get rid of those people that you don't really, you know, need to write your story. Maybe you can bring them back in later once the story is written as, like, like on a TV show, as guest appearances, but not in the regular cast, you know? So, how do you deal with resentment towards parents? Like everyone else who has resentment towards parents, um, you got to try to see it from a different perspective. So, for example, you know, um, a lot of times people don't know any better, or they just are doing what they learned from their parents. And it's not an excuse, it's just an observation so that you try your best not to repeat, with your children. You may go a whole different route and have a whole new set of problems, but at the same time, you just have to be aware. Um, you said relationships always change you to grow and become better. If it's the relationship you want, yes. If it's not the relationship you want, then it may not. So, it's kind of like watching a TV show that you're really, really that you really, really like, and then versus watching a TV show that you don't like or it makes you feel a certain way about yourself. So, like a lot of women watch those TV shows where everyone's all extra and like glam and stuff like that, and then they don't feel as extra and glam, so they start to look at themselves and say, "Hey, I need to change," or da da da. But then there's some women that watch certain TV shows that make them feel, a whole totally different way, and they're not even focused on those type of things, and gives them inspirational ideas or ideas to do other types of things like create a business, write a book, decorate their house, or whatever, whatever. They're watching those type of shows, more creative shows. So their focus is more on the creation versus, looking at yourself and saying, well, I need to do this, this, and that, so I can have that type of lifestyle on the TV. But you also have to remember that, you know, if you're having to watch a story and you have ending up having to do so much things that you didn't plan on doing in the first place, perhaps you need to change that channel. You know what I'm saying? Change the channel. That's all you gotta do. Or find a new show to watch. Because if that show is not improving who you are already, then it's not a good show for you. If it's making you doubt who you are, if it's making you feel like you're not good enough, turn the channel, you know? So, the same thing in life with relationships. If you're in a relationship or you have a friendship or any type of, interactions with, your coworkers or whatever, and you don't feel good around them and they, then change directions, change jobs, change shifts, change whatever that you need to change. And if you can't change any of those things, then you have to change your perspective. You got to see them as they don't know any better. You got to rise higher and see them as not knowing any better. So that's only choices a lot of people have when they are forced to deal with certain people. You know, I mean, you could sink low and say, okay, well, I'm mad at them because A, B, C, D. But if you rise higher, then you only see them as children and you only see them as not knowing any better. And so, therefore, your perspective becomes higher than theirs and you treat them accordingly, and that's all we can do. Uh, how can you help our friend? Her boyfriend is trash and spends too much money. And she spends too much money on him because she feels good helping others, but he's using her. He spent 600 on him on her and paid on her own birthday. Um, I feel that if if somebody is being used, I feel like they know, and maybe it's like that chess game. They're strategizing. You know what I'm saying? So not everything is what it seems. But if she is being used, then she's being used. If she not, you don't know. You know. She may have a master plan at the end because usually people will find my channel and flip the script on them people who are quote unquote users. It's like this. Like y'all remember that video that Beyonce made, "Irreplaceable." That dude thought he was using Beyonce, but all she did is sing song. To the left, to the left. Everything I own in the box to the left. So, it depends on your strategy. you know? You said, I promise you there's no master plan. She's a uni student and he's 30-year-old scumbag. She says he doesn't want to be alone. Okay. Well, if she's still in school, then she's allowed to make dumb mistakes, you know? You know what I'm saying? Like, you still in school, you supposed like everybody always asks me, "Oh, I'm this, I'm I'm in college or I'm this age. You know, what should I be doing? Having fun, being stupid, making mistakes until you realize that they're mistakes, and so that you'll never make them again. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Like if everyone had everything, if everyone had every aspect of life down and knew exactly what to do and how to move and operate, then there would be no challenge. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, if you are in college or young, you're gonna make stupid mistakes so that when you get old, you don't. If you don't make the mistakes now, you're gonna make them later. So why not make them now? Why it's not, real life? Why not make them now? While it's not real life? Um, yeah, so don't take her lesson from her, let her learn. Exactly. Because if she graduates college and she didn't ever learn that lesson, then she's gonna go out into the real world older and possibly make that mistake and not see the red flags. Mhm. So, if I'm gonna tell her anything, I would tell her to study, learn, and make sure that you remember everything so that when you see them again later on in another situation or something like that, you recognize them. That's about it. Mhm. You said if your boyfriend pays all the bills and gives me extra for other things, should I cook and clean? I do not work, but he complains I'm lazy and I do nothing. I refuse to do any of those things and call the maid. Exactly. You said she already in the real world. Body count is a real thing. Yep, body count is a real thing. Like when you killing people. um, mhm. But honestly, like there's always that middle ground still. There's a middle ground all the time. You said you done. How many, there's a real thing. Like if you have a woman and you have a man, and the man has a large body count too, and the woman has a large body count, then dang, what they gotta do? Go on tour on a concert? You know what I'm saying? So who cares? How you tell a man you don't want kids without turning them off? Tell him you can't have none. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Codependency is a mother's what y'all trapped in your own way of thinking, people, places, and things. Learn and move on. It's sad at this point. It's all mental. Yeah, sometimes like y'all have to remember, like sometimes people don't see everything the same way that you see it. And that's why people never should judge. Like for example, someone could have had all the advantages in the world and wanted to see what it was like just to do mundane things that they can't do anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like some people have had mansions since they were born. Some people have had servants. Some people have had like on Coming to America. Some people can't even wipe their own butt or clean, themselves or brush their own teeth. Like Come to America, you know. And they wanted that experience. It's not the same thing as somebody being born in that experience and having to learn that experience and wanting to get out. So y'all have to see it from different perspectives. So, for example, what was his name? Prince Hakeem on Coming to America, Eddie Murphy, and then his sidekick Simi Arsenio Hall. He said he liked living like that, while his assistant, who was not born, well, he was raised up in the castle and stuff, but he was never the prince. So he was like, "Oh, I don't like living like this. Y'all making me work at McDonald's or McDowell's or whatever." And, he was used to that lifestyle. But since Prince Hakeem, like he was born with it, he wanted to experience the other side of things. And he was like, oh my gosh. And then he met the girl he liked and fell in love, and he didn't want the chick that was, in Africa, hopping on one leg and whatnot. So that's what he did. And so, but he was lying to her the whole time. And, they had to fix whatever it was in order for them to get back together. So the funny part of the whole movie was that at one point, Prince Hakeem um, was enjoying being poor, and he liked how ratchet, not poor, but like living in those conditions. And he liked how the challenge was, and he liked to do those things, but he never got to do those things because he was so sheltered. And so once he was, seen as the prince again, he had to go back. And yeah, he enjoyed his, luxury and things like that. But at the same time, he also had this experience. So it's not always, this person is doing the worst things and he's being used and da 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 da. It could be they're having an experience, because if I'm sure that girl, I don't know if she works, if she's in university, does she work? Or does she have just money coming in and you have to worry about it? Like, what is it? Is she just having fun? Is she getting experience? Is she having the life that she couldn't have at home? Or da, 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 and is she also learning? And is that person learning as well who's dealing with her? Like, so it's almost like you're not, it's almost like some people are having an experience. And when they are tired of the experience, then they go back, or when people realize that they're doing that experience on purpose and they don't have to, then it's like the novelty wears off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you said trading places. Exactly. You said it's like undercover boss. Exactly. Or it's almost as if, it's not um what you think it is. Mhm. So your mom is crazy and religious too. Hmm. So, you know, that's what it is. And if you like, you know, uh, who knows how long, Prince Hakeem would have stayed in his quote unquote fake reality, um, if he didn't get busted, or if he did not get, outed, or if his dad didn't come looking for him or whatnot. Who knows how long he would have stayed there. Hmm. But at the same time, he was still sending her secret, like, what's her name? He sent like jewelry and stuff, like gifts and stuff from secret admirer. So, it was not good that he lied, but it was also not good that people wanted to, you know, like he didn't know any better, like very ignorant when they arrived. They thought Queens was where you find a queen, or you know, they didn't realize a lot of things because it was a foreign land or a different type of, you know, everything. And so when the middle ground met, when people started accepting them into that reality, is when Samuel L. Jackson came in and was trying to rob the restaurant. And so, like, the skills that they learned, you know, like sparring against each other, kicked in. And they were like, they already knew what to do. They just gave, you know, and there you have it. That's when they got like, oh, you know, that's when everything turned. Okay. Oh, you're careful. Yeah. How to deal with men what means always trying to text or call. I can't be bothered. He keeps saying I'm ghosting him, but gave me $1,000 after I lost my job. Um, he keeps calling you. What is like? Has he text you or called you? I don't know. The woman just have to verify their pictures. What? If you know if their number's not stored in your phone and like under their name or whatever, then they need to text you who it is, baby. Like, especially if you don't know, like you don't. There's so many people that call your phone these days. You don't know who it is, so I don't even answer my stuff. You don't get no one. I do not answer my phone. If they need to text me, this is a certain person. Please call back. Then, if I know who they are, they might get a call back. Okay, but I don't pick up the phone for strangers unless you know I recognize, the number is from like somewhere that I've recently called and they're just calling back. So no, people got to be smarter than that. Does your phone allow you to send an automatic text? If so, that will keep him busy. True. Like I need to see like who you are. I done deleted most people out of my phone. So if your name ain't saved under a number, you better text and say who it is. You said black community must stop living through movie narratives or social indoctrination and slaves. Well, then give us something else. Create something else then. You know what I'm saying? Because this is all that is being offered at this time. Movies or, social media. What else is there? Where's our examples? You know, if you don't like something, create something better. Just trying to say. Like everybody wants to say, "Oh, don't we gotta stop living like this. We gotta stop doing like." Then you gotta make some action. Okay. It's the best examples that are just the movies that we see, then obviously um, something needs to be done. When reality is better than the movies or just as good as the movies, then we'll be somewhere. Okay. Why do black people have to be the same? I live my life as an old white woman. Or you could live your life as anything you choose to and change it at any given time. Okay. Especially if you know what you want at what time you want it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. People always think once you take a role, you got to stay in that role. No. Once you take a role, you can, just like an actress in You don't have to stay in that role type. You could do whatever you want. Some people play multiple roles, as you can see on some people's movies. So stop trying to put everybody in, a label. Just let them do what they want. It's their story to write. For me, like I said, it's the middle ground. You create what you want. And sometimes you're alive and you got to create as you go with the tools that you have and the strategy that you've learned along the way with the people that you choose to work with. And that's it. There are some on there looking for that, but is more relationship oriented than the other one. Is this real hair? Yes, it is. Y'all can't tell my real hair from my wigs no more. This is my real hair, you guys. I cut it. Because I felt like it. Y'all know. Okay, so if you've never been in love before, because I know a lot of people don't like me using movies as references, but since most people have seen these movies, it's easier for them to comprehend. Okay, that's why I do that. If you want another example that is a real life situation, then create it so that I can use is as an example. But so far, movies are a good way to get someone to see a perspective that you're trying to give, and also you can alter it, that perspective, by adding your own little insert. So if Hakeem went to go look for his queen because what he wanted was not someone to do whatever he asked him to do. He wanted somebody with her own mind, her own way of thinking, her own opinions, not somebody hopping on one foot. Okay, so he didn't want a yes woman. So he went and found someone that was going to say what she wanted to say and do what she wanted to do, and have the audacity to be upset with them or treat him like he was not royalty. That's what a lot of people want, especially if they're used to everybody saying yes to them. Okay, so some people need to know the truth about themselves. Some people need to know how people really feel about them. Some people need to know, if I wasn't rich and powerful, or if I was not the Prince of Zamunda, how would people treat me? How would I, how am I going to get the girl? Because I know all women want the money, but could I get a girl without money? That's what some guys want to know, especially the ones with money. And so they're not looking for love. And I'm trying to tell you. They might find that they love the woman, or they have love for the woman or with the woman, but they're not looking for love. What they're looking for is themselves. Okay, they're not looking for the woman. The woman is their reflection. Okay, and that's it. Not the identical copy, but their reflection. So they're not looking for someone to agree with everything they say and do and hop on one foot barking like a dog. They are looking for is the other side of themselves that is going to give them the feedback that they so have been searching for a long time but could not get because of their position. Okay, so this is why some guys do that, and this is why some relationships are like that. And sometimes the person just is lying for no reason and don't have any reason. It's kind of like, okay, so she was with Daryl, the Jerry Curl dude. Soul Glow, you know what I'm saying? She was with Soul Glow, who seemed like he had money and was rich or whatever. And, was making her do all the dirty work and, whatever. So it's the exact it's like she had to choose. Okay, so who do you choose? Soul Glow, Prince of Soul Glow, or Prince Hakeem? But if you notice in the movie, she did not choose either. She was just dating. Okay. She broke up with the Jerry Curl dude because he took it upon himself to talk with the father and just assume that they was gonna get engaged and then announce their engagement. But at the same time, she was like, "You didn't ask me. You didn't discuss this with me. Da 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 da. I'm going outside in the snow on the swing." So anyway, so basically, she did not choose either one. What she did was wanted to be free and to do whatever she wanted to do. And then when she started to date, she liked the person, she liked Hakeem, but she never said, "Oh, I want to marry you and be with you forever." All she said was, I don't care that you're a goat herder, da da da." She just said, "I like you for who you are." And that's it. She wasn't trying to get in his pockets. She was not, because she already had money, and she was not trying to find the Prince of Zamunda. At the end of the day, what she found were a liar and a bad boyfriend and a daddy who was just trying to protect her and make sure that she got the best option. But he was also kind of a greedy gold digger too, because he came from poverty. So yeah, and the sister, she wanted the prince, and she ended up getting the fake prince. So I think she ended up trying to y'all go watch the movie, it's funny. So if y'all know what happened at the end, then y'all know what happened at the end. Okay. What's the best strategy with an arrogant, seemingly overly confident man? Stay unbothered, cold and then soften up, or feed their ego at first and then hurt it? Um, an overly confident man, sometimes they're not overly confident. That's just who they are. You know what I'm saying? Um, if you have confidence, there's a lot of people have levels of confidence. And if you're not used to that level of confidence, people will see you as overly confident. So you have to find someone who is just as overly confident to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? If you, unless you want to bring them down to your level, that's not where they're used to being. And so they're not going to stay there very long. So my best advice on that is get your confidence up, or be able to constantly try to keep his down. That's the only thing you can do with someone who's naturally confident in themselves. You can't take someone's confidence away, because eventually they're going to remember who they are. You know. You said arrogance is so ugly to me. Just could. Hmm. Yeah. Like some people's arrogance is perfectly normal to the next person, while it's arrogant to some people who are used to being a certain way. So yeah, you got to find someone whose definition of arrogance is the same as yours. You know. So that's my take on it. Like, and certain people would only see arrogance as something that they would never do. But when you are around a bunch of arrogant people and you are the least arrogant, you may not see yourself as arrogant at all, and neither will some of those people. So it's like that. Who do you hang around? Who is your circle? And if you don't have a circle, then who are you to compare your arrogance to? That's all. Do you know how men are their what? How are men with their confidence? They're a 3 out of 10 and think they're a 9. I love women's confidence, but men's is different. Um, I don't know. I feel like, men are men. You know, their concerns are different than women's. You love women's overconfidence, not men's. Ladies, I have been entertaining his fantasies for some time, been hinting at gifts, but he keeps ignoring advice. Um, yeah. Well, sometimes you can't hint around. You have to be direct with people because they're not going to sit there and be like trying to play guessing games. You know what I'm saying? The best way to say something is just to say whatever it is you need to say, unless you're trying to, unless you just met them. If you've known them for a while, just say what you got to say. They don't care. They just need the information so they can move accordingly. Okay. So people are playing like silly, stupid games with trying to like say something. Just say it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Do something. Okay. If you're not direct, you're not going to get what you want. You have to tell people exactly what you want. Mhm. What lane should women stay in? Sounds like you want a puppy and not a woman with brain function. How can I admit some people can be disrespectful, but that's just may be who they are. Um, Women should do whatever they choose to do because they have their own brain. You know what I'm saying? They have their own mind and they have their own life. So the lane that women should stay in is the one that they choose to stay in or be in it with whatever time they want to be in it. Because that is what being your own woman is about. Hmm. You want a secure lifestyle, but have a very strong sex sign, Mars and Leo. I might like I'd be sacrificing something if only go for one. What? Um. Oh, I guess so. Well, you got to choose, I guess, or have both, whichever one. Sure, you mentioned something earlier. Do you think love is not unconditional because men always try to get away with things? I feel that men try to win or lose, and women try to create. And when they see the middle ground, because love is a game of winning and losing. And when they try to see the middle ground and they try to create a story, then they can make quote unquote love whatever they want to make it. So that's why they call it making love instead of just sex. Or, there's different types of love. So I would say love is basically a spectrum. You have, oh, I'm going to win, you know, I'm a crazy in love. And then you have the story or a love story, the one you create with how you feel about each other in the middle. So, for example, I'm not going to be on the fairy tale end of a story. It's fun to, watch fairy tales. And I'm not going to be in the crazy, chaotic end of the story. I'm going to be in the middle, creating my own story and version of what it can be in the middle. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not getting ready to say that, because like men like sports. You got to win or lose, right? Women like stories. They like reality TV shows. They like creative shows. They like this, and that. Men will watch the same people dribble the same ball and stick it in the same hole 50 times a year, okay? With the same result, okay? Or slightly different results. Either this team gonna win or that team gonna win. Um, whatever, according to the players. They're in it to win it. But meanwhile, they got a show called Basketball Wives, and they're just sitting there decorating their house, putting on makeup, going shopping, dealing with groupies. Da, 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 da. They're on the other end of the spectrum. And then when they divorce them or leave them or, you know, still dealing with them, they put them in a reality show and they're like, okay, let's see what this middle ground story looks like. Da, 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 da. But at the same time, men are trying to always win or lose, but women are just trying to live their story. So I think if men stop trying to play to a game and try to win or not, try to compete against other men or try to prove themselves by saying, oh, I'm a winner or I'm a loser, you're going to spend your entire life playing a game that no one cares about. Like nobody care about that game. Unless you bet money on it, and then some people bet money on games and they gamble and they get addicted to the, oh, I won this, that means I won money. Da, da, da. Okay, great. But what do you have at the end of the day? Do you have a story to tell, or how many times you can put a ball in a hole? You know what I'm saying? Or kick a ball down a field and run with it. You know, is that all you're going to remember in life? So I think we need to get out of seeing relationships as, oh, I'm going to win or I'm going to lose in this game, and just create the story that you want. And being in love, whoever, because not both people are going to be in love at the same time. It's impossible unless they in love with the same person that they don't know about. Okay. So you're not going to be in love at the same time on the same scale as the next person. So somebody's going to be more in love with the other than that one. And then it ends up being a game again. So you can't be in love with somebody. You just have to like them enough to be with them and create your story of life with them. That's it. Mm-hmm. You said it's the player behind the ball. Okay, but there's a coach. And those players are paid and they're under contract. You know what I'm saying? And so it's almost like, okay, so it ain't the player either. They don't even get to choose the moves they make. They got to go with that dude drew on a little board with dry erase marker. Okay. So I'm not like, that's what I'm saying. It's almost as if, that's why sports, I don't even see that they're real. They're rigged, honestly, in my opinion. Hmm. If y'all keep at, so somebody asked me if I'm wearing my magnetic lash. Y'all want to know what kind of underwear I got on too? I'm gonna call them out. I'm gonna call everyone out who's asking dumb questions. Mm-hmm. I got one magnetic and one regular lash with glue, one on top of each other and on the bottom. There you go. There you go. A sandwich. Spring. I'm just gonna make y'all confused. Anyway, have you had therapy? I have had light therapy with the little device that's supposed to make you look good, and you like turn it on and put it on your skin like this. Are you talking about therapy from someone who went to a school? No. Because they'd end up getting therapy from me. Okay, sprinkle. He said love is a waste of life, Yeah, you're only supposed to like create a story. That's it. You're not supposed to say, oh, I'm in love with this person. I'm in love with this person. You're just supposed to create a story. That's it. And when you start like when the story gets boring, then they have to make people feel like, oh well, maybe you need to find something more inspirational, or like maybe you need to fall in love. Maybe you need to go figure this out again. No, that's because the story got boring. So then now they're trying to trick you again. Okay, well here you go. All you have to do is go ahead and play the role and make your life interesting again if it gets boring. A lot of people's like, oh, how do you keep your marriage or love life spicy or whatever, whatever, whatever. And are you still like in love with this person? Like, I was never in love, so how could I still be? I don't believe that. I don't believe in any of those things. But we can play the role. You know what I'm saying? So when you play a role in something, when you're acting as though this is love, or being in love means, quote unquote, you still are aware that it is a role and you are a character. So for example, if you're not on the same page as to what the word love means, and you're playing a role and your co-star is playing a role and they have a different definition of what love means, and they're playing their role according to their definition of the word love, and you're playing your role according to the definition of your word love, then let the roles do what they do. You know, that's the story. If you found out your provider boyfriend is proposing to you on Christmas and you think you're pregnant, what would you do? On Christmas? No, I don't want Christmas as my anniversary, or I don't want to be proposed to. Do it before Christmas. Um, do it like, to me, like, that's so corny. I need like, that's too corny for me. Like, why Christmas? Why not Christmas Eve or the day after or the couple of days before? Like, why you got to choose that day? That day's already taken. I mean, you could, but is it going to take away like the meaning of Christmas? Is it going to, to you? Or are you always going to think about, I got proposed to on Christmas Day? I don't know. Like, whatever you feel like is good, then do it. If you think it's a good move, go for it. About being pregnant, he better propose, okay? Because he don't want that child support sprinkle. He said some people don't even celebrate Christmas. Exactly. Yeah, I might be celebrating a whole different holiday. Do you think it's effective to always create a game with the men even after marriage, or will it push them away that you're never satisfied? If a woman is never satisfied, it's because the life that she is living is not being created. You know what I'm saying? It's like the wife is not going to be satisfied if they're not creating the life on the same like scale. It's kind of like a man thinks all that he has to do is the bare minimum and leaves a lot of the other stuff to the woman. And it may not seem like a lot of work to a man until they actually have to do that job. Then they see. So it's a lot of times it's not that the woman is never satisfied, it's that if you have 20 things to do versus a man's 5 things to do, and you've completed all of your 20 and they've only completed their 5, and their 5 are absolutely wrong, and you have to go back and fix their 5. Now you've just done 25 things. It means you're never going to be satisfied. So either the man is going to have to learn to do his job 100% correctly, or take on some of the responsibilities and things that women automatically, get thrown into the role of and do them just as good as her. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of men fall short in that, and this is why many women are never satisfied. So you said bare minimum dusties are the most confident creatures ever. So, or or if you get divorced, that could make Christmas sad. True. So that's what I'm saying. Like, women are never going to be satisfied until men can do everything just as good as the woman. You can't satisfy a woman if you can't impress her and make her stand in awe of what you've done. Like, if you don't, if a woman is not impressed by what you do, like, wow, you did an excellent job. I couldn't have done that better myself. Wow, you're the best. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, teach me your ways. If you can't do that as a man, she ain't never gonna be satisfied with you. That's why so many men try to date or be with women who are way too much for them. And when they try to please her, it can't get done. So the man has to take it upon himself either to go find someone else who they can be like, who a woman is in awe of them, or they have to improve themselves to that point. Oh my gosh, look at what you've done. Um, and sometimes the man wants that in a woman as well. So they have to be equally as impressive to each other. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not equally impressive to me and everything you done, I could have done 10 times better, and I'm just accepting whatever you did, that's one story. But if I could do what you did plus some more stuff and impress myself, then what's the point? I have to act impressed, or this still the bare minimum to me. That's the point. Not, oh, well, look at all what I've done. I can pay someone to do that. I could do that myself. Thank you for doing that. It saved me some time and energy and money, but it's not impressive. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's sad, but that's just how women are. Just like, you have a child and they draw this picture, and it's if they're really talented, it's good. And oh wow, I can do this myself. That's very good. You're gonna go, my child has talent. Da, 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 da. Versus you can't recognize any of the things in the drawing, so you have to guess and hope you're not wrong. There's difference. So men, if you want to impress someone, go get someone that's impressed by the bare minimum. If you want to impress a woman, go get someone that is not used to how you do things and they're spectacular to her. And the same thing, men have to realize that you can't impress a woman because women are multitaskers and they're so used to taking up all these different, jobs, because that's what women have been basically pushed to do for so long. So if a man really wants to impress a woman, he got to go above, beyond, and just make her like in awe. And one of his five things is financially providing for the family relationship need to be prioritized. So you gotta make sure you gotta go above and beyond. If you can't go above and beyond, don't act like you deserve a prize. Okay. Do I believe in rational dating for marriage and not becoming someone's girlfriend? Rational dating for marriage and not becoming someone's girlfriend. Um, People treat girlfriends and wives totally different. Um, if you've already had the experience of a girlfriend with someone else and you choose not to have that experience again, and you just simply want to date for marriage exclusively, then definitely. But if you want to see how this person treats a girlfriend versus a wife, then you also need to, I don't know, maybe you need to date both. Maybe you need to do both. And then say, well, okay, I thank you for being my boyfriend, But at this time, I'm done doing this and I want to only date exclusively for marriage. So if you don't want to get married, then the next stop is right ahead and you can go or whatever, get off at the stop and I'm gonna move on. Or you could stay on for the ride and become the husband. That's what people need to say. They shouldn't have to choose. They should be able to have both. People are always saying, choose this, choose that. No, I'll take both. Thank you. Give me both. Why can't I have both experiences? People are always trying to say you can only win or lose. No, I'm just gonna enjoy doing whatever I do. I already won, baby, because I'm enjoying and having fun and doing exactly what I want to do. That's winning when you're not trying to win or lose, when you're just enjoying and having fun and having whatever you want, the experiences that you want, and getting this and that, okay? Or having whatever you say you want and not having to choose. So here's what people need to learn, you know. Well, either you can have this or you can have that. Well, I'm gonna have both. So thank you so much. Well, you can't have both. Well, then why are both options available? Okay. I see two things. I got two eyes, don't I? I got two hands. All right, then give them to me. So that's all we can do. Uh-oh, sprinkle, sprinkle, just because I like the way you think. Okay. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Because we have to have both. Like if you don't have both, then you're always going to be wondering what the other one is doing. What it could have been. I wonder what it's like to do that. Have both. Do both. Huh? Uh-oh, L. Jones, sprinkle, sprinkle. Would you like a gun or a knife? Both. Would you like coffee or tea? Chai? Both. Chai latte, please. Would you like the blue or the red pill? Purple, blue and red. I take both. You know. Would you like one shoe? No, I need the whole pair. He said it's either me or the candy. He said it's either me or somebody make a choice between you or the candy. They're gonna be sneaking and eating candy, so you might as well not give them no alter. I'm serious. Like somebody say it's either me or this. Okay, they're still gonna do what they're gonna do, except just not in your presence. He said taking both. I always take both. But you know what? If you don't take both, at least you have the option to know that they're both available. Sometimes you don't want both, but you can have them if you want. That's that's the key right there. To have it if you want it, not to take it or to just be greedy. Just say, well, I still have both options, and I will do this. And if I feel like doing that, I'll do that. But I might not. But I know I have that option, and it's there if I want it. You know, it's almost as if like you're not saying that I'm choosing a side. It's like I'll do what I want, when I want, how I want, and that's none of your business. You know? hmm I was in a relationship. Every time we broke up, I had to. The next one in line just waiting for me. You can get to know more than one person at the time. That's true. But at the same time, it's almost like, do you have time for that? Some people ain't got time for that. It's like, okay, well, when you're young and you are able to do all those things, it's very easy. Mhm. You're in a relationship? Okay, I already read that. You said one in every color. That's overindulging in both. Well, don't men overindulge? I mean, how many sports games are there in a season? Isn't that overindulgence? How many channels do we have on cable these days? Isn't that indulgent? How many um streaming movie accounts do we have? And how many have more than one? Isn't that overindulgent? Isn't America overindulgent? How many grocery stores do we have in a 1 mile to 2 mile radius? How many are being built at this time? How many how many toasters do you actually need? What are you talking about overindulgence? It's America. Okay. Why don't many women recognize the power they possess? They do recognize it. Sometimes they want other people to recognize it first. Because if only you recognize something, then it's no point. Mhm. And when you recognize something and someone else recognizes it within you, then you also have to wonder, like, okay, if this person recognizes how powerful that I am, then okay, that's very good. But at the same time, do you recognize that power in someone else or in that person? Your daddy always called you spoiled Americans. We don't even realize we live in abundance compared to most around the world. That's true. I mean, there's it's crazy how America is, and people always say, "Oh, that's overindulgent." But many people are overindulgent in different ways. People could have 10 watches and 5 pair of pants. Some people can have, thousands of books and one television in their home. So it just depends on what you value. Like men reading another man's child or raising another man's child, committed provider and dude in the cuts, the day will what? I don't even know what that means. Shira is a woman is over 35. Should they lower their expectation in man's income? Only if their income. Honestly, if they will never see that man as impressive. Even if the woman is old, she still expects a man to be a man and impress her. Otherwise, he's just gonna become her pet. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And I've said it. So take a 35-year-old woman. Okay, she makes a certain amount of money. She wants her man to be able to make enough money to impress her, not just to help her, not just to give her the bare minimum, not just to meet the requirements, not just to give her, a nice Christmas present, but to impress her. Like, who else is going to impress her if not you as a man? You know? somebody else, some other man. That's all I'm saying. And it could go both ways. A man could want a woman to do all this extra stuff to impress him as well. And that's why I'm saying their definition of what is expected of each other has to be on that same page. So some men say, well, if I give you this lifestyle and I impress you, then you got to clean, cook it. Well, if you can do that, you can have a maid, baby. I don't have to do all of that. See how this goes? Well, what else can you do since we got maids and stuff like that? Well, I can look good, or I can, make you think, or I'll keep you busy. That's for sure. So, you know, you said we are designed by nature that way. Exactly. So, s- a lot of people say, well, I want like women like to brag on their men. They do. They don't want to have to make excuses for them. There's a difference. And I've said this in so many of my videos. Women want to brag on their man, not make excuses for them. Come on. Well, he's busy today, and he's no, be there, show up with extras. Okay, that's how you gotta do. Shoot, why do you think all these rich billionaires got doubles? Y'all don't know about that? Okay. Why you think like a lot of these people have doubles to fill in where they don't want to fill in and when they got to do what they got to do? Okay. A lot of major celebrities had to have doubles, especially when they didn't want to go somewhere or do like some type of press or whatever. They were like, okay, send the double, send that dude. A lot of politicians have doubles too. Well, send that dude. Send this person. Um, and if you're so far away from the crowd and you don't have to be super up close, and they got that technology now, so it doesn't matter. So a lot of times people have to have more than one, you know, because they're so pulled in many different directions. So hmm, it's like, oh no, I gotta be there for my wife. I gotta be there for my kids. I gotta be there for my job. I gotta be there for this press conference. Okay, I need some doubles, some triplets, whatever. Okay, you go here, like that movie Multiplicity. You go there, and I gotta go here. Shoot, Michael Jackson Super Bowl show, basically. Halftime show. So you know, when you're not as famous or rich or whatever, then you have to like if you're in the middle, like middle class or upper middle class, and you don't have the access to get doubles, then you just have to either hire somebody to help you do, this stuff over here, or you're gonna have to be really good and talented at whatever you're trying to do and able to impress that woman. That's it. Thank you, Miss L. Sprinkle. How do I handle man's attention and secret glances in public places? Should I pretend I don't notice? And if you I wouldn't notice because I'd be looking at something else. Okay. If your man ain't looking at you and he's looking at somebody else, and you're paying attention more than to what he's doing rather than what you could be doing, then somebody has got the short end of the stick. Because for me, I'm my eyes everywhere too. Why? Because if he's not there to impress you, then you're not there to impress him. That's how it goes. And he can look all he wants, and so can you. Okay. Some women don't even want to deal with relationships or men anymore because they're not on the same page. Like the man is playing a game and the woman is trying to create life or create a life, a lifestyle. So half the time when people meet, they're not even on the same page. And I always say that in my videos, like when a man and a woman meet each other, their thoughts are totally different. A woman is trying to see, is this my future husband? And a man is trying to see, can I sleep with her and win, um, you know, her draws or whatnot. But a woman is trying to see if you're going to fit into the story of her life, while the man is just trying to conquer. So when y'all are first meeting, then if that's the scenario, then it's never going to work out unless someone gets on the same page, How should you deal with men checking me out? Oh, girl, that's what they supposed to do. Shoot. Hey, how you doing? Well, they're supposed to look at you and say, "Oh, that's very, she's very, whatever, however they could describe you." And are you checking other men out at the same time? You checking them out too? I mean, you got eyeballs. And like I said, you guys, the best approach to any situation is direct. If you have to, like, if there's something that you have to say, just say what you need to say. There's no need to waste time trying to say things in, you know, subtle ways. Just say what you gotta say. Because some people are just like very blunt, like me. I'm very blunt. I'm gonna say what I gotta say. If you're not speaking the same way, then and you're trying to give subtle clues and stuff, they're going to get looked over unless I'm very bored and trying to pick apart everything you say because you're so boring and you're unattractive that I have to actually, or you're not in my presence and I'm trying to think about what you said in the conversation because you were so boring, I have to look somewhere else. If you come straight and direct and say what you got to say, that's when people listen. Okay. If you're going to talk in different, like, like the man is trying to hint around at something, the woman may not pick up on that because she's direct. Okay. And if the man is not direct, she's not going to pick up on his subtleness. So the man got to be direct too. If you see that a woman is direct, then that's how you need to approach a direct approach. But if your intention is to subtly approach so that she's caught off guard and that's your strategy, then you can't really complain when someone or when the relationship has issues and she doesn't listen to you or not, pick up on your subtleness. So you gotta choose. Like, okay, well, do either come direct at first, then once she picks up on your way of communicating, then you can be more subtle. Mhm. Same happened to me. You become bold with your flirting. Exactly. Look, especially when you're old. Like when you're young, you would do all that. When you get a little older, it's like, come on now, I got stuff to do. What you want? What is it? Okay, hurry up. So yeah, like you said, it seems like when you have a man, you become a magnet to others. Hmm. You gave so many hints, still hints, and so I went direct he decided to ignore, so I broke up with him right now. Well, even if you come direct, you still gotta impress, baby. Like if you're coming direct and not impressive, then you gonna get ignored, okay? Like impression. Like what she can't do for herself, do for her and do it directly. There you go. Binty D, sprinkle, sprinkle. So, and some women will, that's what a lot of women just really want. That's what's gonna get them. If you gotta do something, like if you're trying to hide and do stuff subtly and stuff like that's not enough. You gotta bust in there like Michael Jackson did. Don't remember the time, okay? right for the right in front of the King of Zamunda. You gotta that y'all. That was part two. Y'all didn't even know. Part one and a half actually. So but they had went back in time. That's why they showed the little, hourglass. Cause anyway, I'm being silly, but honestly, gotta be bold with it. You gotta. Mm, girl, girl, do you remember? You gotta. That was bold. You said ultimatums ever work in your favor or mess things up in long term? Um, Ultimatums are not for long term. Ultimatums are for then and there. You know what I'm saying? Because you can change stuff later on. You say a smooth criminal, okay? Hmm. Having last week you told a man you was literally bored with the conversation that you were saying silly things. Hmm. You said he did it right in front of the pharaoh too. Hmm. You said, well, honestly, that was just a message. Like I don't know what to say. That message was basically like, okay, the lady said she was bored. Can she get some entertainment? Like, come on. Um, you said married men are the magnets to women, coveting what the next woman possesses, seeking greener grass. Hmm. Um, but it's funny how like when most single women are out and about, it's the married men that are actually approaching them. So I don't know. Could be going both ways, right? The men could be wanting uh, single women because they don't want to be married, and then the single women could be wanting married men because they want to be married. That's why they're attracting each other. Single women want to be married. Married women want to be. Married men want to be single. So that's why they attract each other. You ever thought about that? It's like, oh, they might have been unintentional, but that's what happens. There's even married people that are attracted to other married people because they don't know what they want to do. Okay. It's like, I don't know what I want to do, but I'm going to do something. Okay. Ah, that was funny, right? I like the way you think. Exactly. Look, I don't look. Married people don't know what they want to do, but they found it. They'll find another married person who doesn't know what they want to do, and they'll create something on the side. I don't know, but at the same time, that's because they're unsure. You said not all married men. I didn't say all. I just said married men. It would be hard to account for every married man. One might be in a wheelchair and can't do nothing. Might have two legs and no arms and can't get out. I mean, I don't know. I didn't say all married men. I just said one or two or just in general. Y'all gotta become members. I see the members comments much easier, but like okay, sprinkle sprinkle. You make happy has been changing lives. Most of them just looking for some different. Mhm. You're the fan fake moderator, LOL. Leave me alone, dirty damsel. Okay, I don't have time to decode other stuff or deal with um, bad poetry. So I don't know. Baby, you need to fix that. It's not a haiku. Okay. A direct, baby. Direct, not indirect. I prefer direct communication. That is the best way. You know why? Because there's no questions. Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. Exactly. Or be ambidextrous, baby. hmm You get approached by women whenever I wear my fake wedding ring. Married men considered safe for one night flings. Hold on. The creator intended for men to be providers and protectors. These American black men spreading these foolishness is our little boys who never had a father and home to teach them who they are. Um, mhm. Well, that's not my fault. I feel that there's enough examples, whether it's even on television or in books or whatever, to at least try to be better. But that's up to the individual. Um, do they want to sleep with what? Oh, there. She asking if they want to sleep with you when you have on your fake wedding ring. hmm You remember when you were working and this guy told you, "I'll be back. I gotta put something in my wife's drink to make her sleep." Oh my god! And sprinkle, sprinkle. That's what they be doing. Um, Married men are not an attraction to single women. Stop trying to repeat a lie enough times until we think it's the truth. That's what I said. Well, I feel like married men come onto the single women first, or they're not wearing their ring, so they appear single, right? So they're the ones that's doing all the tricking and fooling. And then when the question is asked, "Are you married?" they may lie. Some of them will just be honest and say, "Yeah, I'm married," and um, they'll still try to pursue the person if the person is uninterested. They're like, "Okay, well, you're married. Well, we could just be friends." They'll try to pull the friend thing, or you know, they'll try to say she's this or she's that, or we're not in a happy they'll just lie about it, or maybe they're half truth about it. But at the same time, they try to convince you still, even when you say you're not interested. You know, so it's the men who pursue the women mostly, even if they are married, even if the man is married. A man is less likely to pursue a married woman if he's single. You know what I'm saying? Unless he thinks he can make her leave that man. So it just depends on the situation. You said humbly admitting it don't come from me. I've learned. Yeah, honestly, like if a man wants to really do something for you and prove that you should be with him, then he need to do that already. Okay, and then let that woman make that decision. If there's no proof, if there's no tangible proof that that man could take care of her, then she's not going to leave something for something that's unsure. Unless she feels like she wants just to be by herself and make a decision based on what she wants. And then if she's unsure, she can always go back or she can always do something different or find another one. But at the same time, you can't expect someone to leave someone if you're not willing to do way more or at least the same or equal to. Well, that's it. A lot of men don't know this, but that's what it is. You think single women seek out married men? Why would they do that? Maybe if they know this one specifically has money. If someone is married, they would have on a wedding ring and they would also, say, I'm married. And if they have, you know, all those, all that information out there, then people know, you know. If the woman pursues a married man who's wearing his wedding ring and acting married, then that's a different story. You was a single mom and four grasping for vines to save me. Oh, I, okay, I'm just reading. I was approached and proposed by married man. He lied to me about it. When I found out, he denied being married. Later, he admitted he was lying. Then I broke all contacts with him, but he's still after me. All you gotta do is call his wife. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I mean, you already know the deal. Excuse me, wife. Your husband is after me. How do I get rid of him? I mean, that's all you got to do. I got a message from mine as well. What? He said call his wife. Girl, go call his wife. Hello, ma'am. This is Barbara. Y'all remember that song? And you need to come get your husband because I don't want it. Um, for the record, ladies, do not call my wife. Marcus said, don't call his wife. Um, you're not calling to ghost or be disrespectful. You calling to get his ass in trouble. Now, actually, honestly, if you don't realize that someone is even chasing you. Sometimes women are so busy, they don't even realize somebody's chasing them. So they might not even know, girl. That man just might be chasing an imaginary relationship. Okay. And if that's what keep him busy and his wife happy, then let him do it. Uh, Make sure your wife don't call me. Okay. That's funny, Marcus. As Dia said, don't let your wife call her either. If I if you rewind about 20 years ago, I'd be on the phone with everybody and their mama. How you doing? We're gonna have a conference call. Because I didn't care. Like, hello, you got your mom? Okay, this mama and the wife? Okay. Well, I'm the girlfriend. What we gonna do? You said you feel a bit of shame for wanting a man with a well-off man with money. Why are you ashamed? Shoot, there's nothing to be ashamed about. Sometimes I feel, yeah, that's silly. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, ladies. You did. Men want what they can't have. What? When a woman is a cheater in my country, other men wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot pole, at least not publicly. Maybe in the down low, I wish we would have the same attitude. Girl, then nobody will be touching nobody. How you doing? Sprinkle, sprinkle. I'm in a relationship in what? Is it 800 credit goods for a man? I guess. I don't know. If he could, can he, whatever he could do with his credit, can he do with some cash? Sprinkle, sprinkle. That means he'd be paying his bills. Okay. Not attracted to married men, but it seems like they're the only sugar daddy spending major bank. Okay. Some of them are. What fault of the openly married man, single women playing stupid games with win a stupid prize? There is no prize. You know what the prize is? A surprise when she call your wife. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Hmm. The shame, not in the wanting, but not deserving. Get out what you can put into a relationship. Be careful what you put your energy towards. Make sure you're not creating misery for another woman. Well, if she married to somebody that's chasing another woman, she already misery. Okay, like that don't make no sense. Ah, oh, you're in a relationship. You ain't paying no bills. How? Don't like that he doesn't like to talk. Any tips? Talk to somebody else. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Girl, don't you know how that's what starts the side dude? Talk to someone else. Where's create another person in your circle to talk to, you know. Introduce another person if that's what you want, or talk to somebody that you already know. He said, "Don't break up a happy home." Ain't nobody gonna break up nothing. That's I don't care enough to call nobody wife, baby. Like, not at this point. Like, if somebody is chasing you and you're not that interested, or you are, if you have options and you don't care and you just whatever, you're not trying to call nobody wife. You're just gonna let them do what they think that they're doing. He said, "No communication is a red flag." Yeah, it's like I don't care. That's the flag. But when you don't communicate anymore, it's like you don't care anymore. You consider yourself a what? A saccharine daddy, Marcus? You ain't even that. They call you like salt daddy, okay? $10 once a year is not no saccharin, okay? So anyway, um, what if a woman not paying bills? Understand gender lanes. What if a woman not paying bills? Understand gender what? What Shira knows that I have been chasing her for years. Oh no, you haven't. He said I'm playing hard to get. I ain't playing. Wife normally always already knows exactly. I always think there's a large eyeball on your shower watching you, crying on you. Do you? That's weird. Well, whatever helps you to feel showered. It's not like he stopped communicating. He's been like this. But then you've been had a side dude, sprinkle, or someone else to talk to. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's how he is, then be how you are. If you want to talk to him, then talk to him. If you don't want to talk to him, talk to someone else. That's just how it is. When you want to talk to someone, you're going to talk to them no matter what. Um, if you don't really want to talk to them, or you could care less, then go find someone else to talk to, or something else to occupy your time. Okay. What should you do when friends and family aren't treating you well? Stop caring as well. Who cares? I mean, you can always care about whoever you choose to care about in your family, but you don't have to respond. He's more of a man of action, and you appreciate, but you're like, okay, I can't read minds, and I'm not trying to come off as insecure, but I do seek a bit of validation from my man. Um, I think you just seek validation, and so you can validate yourself, or you can validate other people can validate you if that's what you're seeking. But at the same time, it doesn't have to come from him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't value his validation anyway, it doesn't matter. If you value his validation and you want that specific validation from him, then by all means, take it. Don't even try to get it. Okay, just take it, because it's takeable. Like, you could take somebody's validation. You don't have to ask for it. Men do it all the time. Okay. But make sure he doesn't have a whole other life. It happened to you. Oh my gosh. Thank good. Okay. Well, I'm glad that happened to you. I mean, I'm glad that you learn from that, not that it happened to you. It seems like his nature and personality, talk to your friends, etc. He's not your therapist. Only when it's important matter, talk to him. Other times, just let go. Exactly. Any advice on starting a business? Yep, just do it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Go learn as you go. See what other people did, and when they where they made mistakes, don't make your mistakes. Be exclusive to a man until you get a ring. What? Don't be exclusive to a man until you get a ring. Okay. You said validation is given by others more the gift. Huh? I don't know what that means. All right. You attribute your relationship like weight training. You need tension to grow as a couple. Mhm. Well, that's when you're still in the growing stage. You say you validate yourself every time you look in the mirror. Exactly. I'm like, I know I look good. How you doing? So yeah, we don't need validation from men. It's nice to have it, but you don't need it. You can say, "Oh, I look good." You already know you look good when you leave your house. Otherwise, you stay in there trying to help yourself look better. So you already are validated before you even leave the house. And so it's almost like if other people recognize that or agree, you know, yes, or validate you in other ways, may not be as far as looks, but at the same time, you already know that, and it's just confirmation. It's not, oh, I need that. It's just confirmation. And if no one confirms, it doesn't matter because you already have it. And yeah, communication with another person. Um, if you are in love, or I wouldn't even say love, if you have the same amount of love for this person as the other person, they're going to listen to you and you're going to listen to them. You know, if you don't, then the communication is going to be way off. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to get the communication you want if y'all don't feel similar, or at least, the one's listening is the one who likes you more. You're not going to feel the same way. So honestly, if you don't have anything to talk about because you have nothing in common in the first place, then there is no conversation to be had. Really, it's just kind of like being nice and trying to make sure that you don't seem like you're just sitting there not talking to each other. You ever seen like those people that go out to eat and they're like just sitting there and not even talking? Those people have nothing in common, or they've already said everything that they need to say to each other. They're not creating anything new or interesting or different in their lives. So therefore, all they have to do is share a meal with each other. So if you're not doing any of those things, then of course you don't need to talk with each other. So who cares? If you're not creating or building anything with that person, or writing your story with that person, then there's nothing to discuss. You just do your own story. Okay. You said, are not wigs and weave physical validation? Truth is what it is. I got wigs, weaves, real hair, fake buns, extensions, hats. They're called accessories, darling. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. This is another reason why it's hard to please women, because we have all these extra things, and men are like the basics. So it's a challenge for a man to really impress a woman because, like you said, she can validate herself. So a lot of men want women to be like bare, no makeup, real hair, no nail polish. They just want to be the bare minimum so they can impress them with the bare minimum. But how do you impress a woman that has all those things, you know, and have validated herself? What can you do as man to make her see you a certain way? You know, you shouldn't have to take something away or strip someone of something in order to shine. You should be able to just do that on your own, or you need to find a way to get her attention where she sees you that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's not easy, but it takes a lot of getting to know that person in order to know how to get them to see you in a certain way. Mhm. Um, you said two people not engaging their environment have little to add to their relationship. Exactly. Like if you're not talking to each other, then there's nothing to build. There's nothing to create. Is it okay not to be the thankful man? Oh, is it okay not to be thankful to the man when you don't think that they've done enough? Okay. It's like someone doing something for you that you didn't. It's like thanking the garbage man. Thank you for picking up my trash. It's like thanking the mailman. Thank you for delivering my letters. It's like thanking, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you can do it out of just being kind, but, you know, if they're doing what they're supposed to be doing already, then why do they have to be thanked? If it's not even good enough and they're still just doing the bare minimum job of it, then why do you need to thank them? You can do it out of kindness, but you really won't mean it, you know? So my question is, okay, um, thank you. There's fake thank yous and real thank yous. You know what I'm saying? Like fake thank yous are the thank yous that you give people when you're out and about. The real thank yous are the ones that you mean. Like, oh, I am so thankful, or I thank you so much. You know, oh, that means you're taking that person for granted if you don't thank them. No, if they need to be thanked for a job that should be thankless, they are looking for something in exchange, and therefore they're not doing it for the correct reason anyway. You see? So, no, I don't wake up every day and ask my kids to thank me for doing my job as a mother. I don't. I don't expect anyone to thank me for doing something that I'm going to do anyway. So if you need someone to thank you for a thankless job that you're supposed to be doing anyway, to me, that tells me that you're not doing it for the correct reason and you should be doing more. Just saying. That's like somebody going to the grocery store and waiting for the thank you. And they live in the house. Like, you're not gonna thank me for these groceries? I roll no. I thank you if you put it up, cook the groceries, clean up the mess, wash the dishes, take the trash out, and do it again every day. I'll thank you. Do it if you once you do it all, then I'll thank you. But there's no reason to thank you for the bare minimum what you're supposed to be doing. If you want to impress me with some groceries, go buy all the finest products, hire a chef to come in the kitchen and come cook the products, have you know, give me the top of the line refrigerator and everything gourmet quality, then I might say thank you. Oh, what did you get? You got the good stuff. Oh, the kind. Oh, yes, I've never had this kind before. This is nice. Wow, you picked out. Wow, thank you. Don't come in there with the regular stuff if you want to be thanked. Come in there with some extras, some champagne, some extra, fresh squeeze, whatever, this, that, do the extra, do go above and beyond if you want to thank you. Don't come in there with some groceries that anybody can go get. So y'all need to realize that women aren't easily impressed because they do the same stuff and actually bring back the actual stuff that they asked for. You send somebody to the store and they come back with all the wrong stuff and want to thank you. No, go back to the store and get the right stuff, or don't go at all. I'll go do it. So it's almost like that. So stop looking for thank yous where you're doing the bare minimum. You see, train them how you want to be treated. hmm And then if you do something grand and spectacular, you won't you won't have to wait for that thank you. It's going to be there. They gonna say thank you. And sometimes it's not even something that grand. Sometimes it's the smallest thing, the thing that they really want. A lot of times men know what the woman truly, really wants, and they do everything else except the one thing that they want. Because they feel like if they do the one thing that that woman wants, then they've lost or something. So a man can do so much to impress a woman and spend a lot of money and do a lot of stuff. And if it's the one thing that she wants that he never gives, she will never be satisfied. And I think that's where a lot of men mess up, especially men with money. I've seen a lot of men with money lose women because they'll buy a car, they'll take them on a vacation, they'll buy them jewelry and buy them the finest clothes and the nice purses. And the one thing that the man never actually does is the one thing that the woman really wants. And most of the time, it's free or costs very little compared to what he's been spending. So sometimes a man's ego or pride will not allow him to do that one thing that the woman truly wants because he will feel defeated. And it's not that the woman wants him to feel defeated, it's that the woman wants to see if he will give her what she wants instead of what he thinks she should have or what other women want or what she should be happy with. And that's what it is. And men will never understand that until a woman is not playing a game to win. A woman is building the life that she wants. And if that one piece is missing, it's missing, you know. And that one piece is not, you know, seen as a win or a lose. It's seen as a missing piece. That's it. I love your haircut. It looks great on you. Oh, appreciate that, Springer. Um, Maybe the thing isn't so important. It's the hiding, it's the holding out of anything that matters. Um, I don't know. It just depends on the situation. So, like, if you're holding out on something, maybe they're trying to buy time. Maybe they're trying to get something together or stuff in order to give them that whatever. But at the same time, don't expect the woman to act like you want her to act. You know what I'm saying? If a man is stupid enough to listen to a person not in their relationship, I don't know what. Most of those experts are single and paying child support. We should never manipulate. Long ago, I have to go back into the old days, women did not have equal rights, and so they didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? So like nowadays, we're not even on the same page anymore. Men are playing a game, women are building their life story. And when women start playing the game with the man and not trying to build a life story, the man gets upset because she's now, on to what he's doing. So if you want, you know, the life that you want, then y'all have to be on the same page. He said if you want that one thing, hit you up. You're so silly. And with that one thing, the man might not even know what that is. That's why they need to be direct and ask, what is the one thing that you want that I have not given to you? Poor Marcus. So, Christmas tree. But men are so gullible, they don't even think about that when they listen to these single gurus. Well, then they're going to have a long journey. Okay. My wife doesn't let me hang out with your friends for some reason. She's always around. Oh, that's so sad. Go hang out with your friends and let your wife hang out with some her friends then. And when she find a new friend that's a man, then don't be mad. That's fine. Your wife trying to tell you something. You're not listening. She's trying to tell you, I'm easily bored, and if you go hang out with them friends, I'm gonna hang out with some other friends. How you doing? Or she's trying to tell you if she don't like your friends and you don't need to be hanging out with them. And if you do, then she's gonna find some friends you don't like and she's gonna hang out with them. Okay, and it's not gonna end well for you. That's what she's trying to tell you. Um, you said easily bored and married don't go together. If you're married to a boring person, you will have an easily bored wife. So you gotta make sure you have a lot in common. Did you cut your hair? Yeah, I did. I make thanks, sprinkle, sprinkle. I want your man. You want your man to get the heck out, but but that's just you. Should we change for a man? For example, that man I want likes me but prefers thinner girls. Wait till he get fat. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay, because they do eventually. Okay. I mean, that's not if you don't want to get skinny, wait till they get fat. It'll work. Okay, what he gonna want? What he gonna want? If he already fat and he want a skinny girl, then tell him you want a skinny man. Y'all both get skinny then. Okay, how you doing? How did you realize James loves you? Because he crazy and do whatever I need him to do. But at the same time, it's almost like mm, it's almost as if like he just does it to hurry up and do like whatever is needed. But you know that they love you. And I don't even know if a lot of men know what the definition of love is. They just know responsibility and keeping the peace and making sure the house is taken care of and stuff like that, just like women do. It becomes almost like an automatic role. So you can keep the peace. You know what I'm saying? And it's not love that I was speaking about, it's creating the story that makes people want to be in the same relationship with each other, you know? I feel like that's what most people need, not just to prove themselves, but to create the life that people want with each other. Uh-oh, Percy, what's up? If you share some of your Bitcoin with you, no, I don't use that, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I like regular money, cash. Okay. If I can't hold it in my hand, I don't want it. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Yeah, I mean, if I can't get access to it to hold it in my hand, I don't want it. If I got to go through a bunch of other stuff to get it, I mean, having a bank account is different than having all the other stuff. If I can't go and get stuff, if I can't get it at the ATM right now, then I don't want it. Okay. I just need to have access to, something that I can hold. If not, then I don't want it. You can keep it. If you married, he in your hand, okay. You can get Bitcoin at some ATMs. I said the ATM. That means any ATM. I want to have to look and search. We're gonna get this. We're gonna get that. No, I need it right now, right here. If that's what you, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like too many different scenarios. It's like, oh well, a lot of people talk about long distance relationships and stupid stuff like that. If you don't, if I can't see you tomorrow in person, there's not no relationship. If I can't see you in my presence and smell your breath, it's not a relationship. We can pretend that it is, but it's not. Okay. Trust me, you don't want to be out here with these dusty weirdos. I know I'm not. Believe me, I am not out with no dusty weirdos. She'll. Hmm. Rich boyfriend likes the idea about waiting for marriage, thinking about cut him off. Um, then what's stopping him from marrying you? You know what I'm saying? Are you just trying to get to know each other? Wonderful. How should I act when seeing my ex on the street? Is it better to fake being nice or happy or girl just pretend like you don't see him? Like, I don't know who that is. I mean, if y'all are still friends and you can be cordial and say hello and hey, how you doing? And laugh, then great. But if not, just act like you don't recognize them. That's what I do. If there's an ex you do not like, act like you don't recognize them. I don't like you, so I don't recognize you. I don't. I must not have my glasses on that day, my contacts in, because I don't remember you or what you look like. Brush the dust off your jeans and keep moving. Okay. There's nothing better than being a well taken care of feminine. Bitcoin is black manosphere and is gold and girl. Like literally, I don't take nobody serious to be talking about that. Bitcoin crap. Look, give me some real money. Thank you. Give me some money that I could spend today. You said, yeah, in Italy, we tell you if we don't like you. Exactly. Look, I don't like you. Get away. James isn't offended by the things I say. Some people like it. I don't know. Maybe he like it. I just say whatever I want. That's my freedom. Um, if I have to watch my tongue around people and I can't say what I want, then I don't need to be around them. I can say things like if we're around other people, I'm not gonna like disrespect him in like in front of his boss or whatever, or whoever. If he got a boss, I mean, or his friends or whatnot. But if it's just between him and I or people that he doesn't know, it doesn't matter, you know? So if I can't say what I want, then what's the point of talking at all? Some people say Bitcoin is a stock. Okay. But I don't need that. Just give me my money. A regular cash in my hand. Have you ever been in love you thought you were gonna die without the person? Um, the only physical reason someone would feel that way would be if they were in um in gestation during their mother's pregnancy. Okay, that's the only reason only thing I could think of because like if you feel like you're gonna die without someone, unless they were your, unless you didn't know how to live and fend for yourself, then perhaps if you were underaged and like a stray animal or something, maybe. But if you know how to take care of yourself and you have every means to take care of yourself, I don't think anybody would feel like that they would die. Okay. If a man doesn't post wife pics on his social media, is he taking her for granted? No. I feel like if you're not posting your wife's picture on social media, it's because you don't want to have her picture on social media. You know, if people know you're married and that you have a wife, then what does it matter? Mm. That's like going to someone's job and asking, "Why don't you have a picture of me on your desk at work?" You better put a picture of me on your desk at work. Mhm. Maybe they don't want people seeing their picture or their family or, you know, whatever. Mhm. He said, "I've been teasing Marcus for years. He used to it. He like it. He don't care." He said, "Men say women are crazy, but I've seen some crazy men behind closed doors." Mhm. That's their private business, exactly. When do you know a man loves you? Well, you don't have to ask that question. That's when. Like when there's no doubt in your mind, that's when. And when you say the word love, it simply means that they will do whatever it takes to make you happy and satisfied. And they will keep trying no matter what. And even if they keep getting it wrong, they don't give up. I feel that's as close to love as a man and a woman can get. in my opinion. Now, like when you keep going and creating together, even if one person is not satisfied, and sometimes one of the people gets sick of it, and that's when decide to get divorced. Like, I don't want to do this with you anymore because you're never satisfied. Okay, bye. But if the person is continuously trying, then I would say that's very close. But at the same time, if the other person is not going to be satisfied with the results, then they may not feel in love or whatever. They might just be continuously creating the story and allowing that person to keep trying. And when they finally get sick of it or the other person gets sick of it, then they might just say, okay, well, we tried. We couldn't do it. But at the same time, if one keeps trying, then, I feel that's close. And maybe that's about it. How did you? Love could be a weird attachment, especially for women who fantasize. Yeah, like I said, you take two ends of the spectrum: love or no love, or chaos, or just no strings, and you build the story in the middle. If you can't do that, then it's gonna be messed up. How to make a person always try if we have to be thankful? I find it hard. How to make the person always try if we have to be thankful? You don't have to be thankful. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be thankful, you can. If you don't have to. You, s- you said I will submit sooner or later. If you take both sooner and later, it equals never. Sprinkle, sprinkle. You said it's like them talking to the girl. You said, is your husband still chasing you? I think so. I don't know, cause like they ain't never caught me. You had an ex of 6 years ago text you. Should you block him? Uh, I would be suspicious. I'd be sus. What's going on? Who died? Is there? Is it true that he doesn't reach out for you? You don't reach out for him, huh? How do you know? Like, if you're in person in the same room and someone's reaching out, or you're talking about calling, like on the phone. I don't even call people. I use DoorDash. I use an app to order my food. I don't even talk to the people that deliver the food. They just put it on my doorstep. If somebody wants to talk to me, they have to make it known and obvious. Like, they got to actually want to talk to you for real. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. If I want to talk to somebody, I will call them or I will text them. Okay. If I need to talk to them, if there's something if there's something I need, want, or have to express to them, I will do that. But if that person is not an everyday person in my life, if that person is not someone that I speak to on a regular basis, and a long time goes by, and You know, I text them hello or they text me hi or whatever, that's fine. But I'm not going to go out of my way just to talk to somebody that's not trying to, that's not a part of my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? It's like I have a small group of people that I speak with. And if you're not in that group and you don't want to be in that group, then you're not in that group. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Okay. You Are you ever lovely with James or do you have a limit? I don't even know what that means. What's lovely? I'm lovely all the time. See, or did you mean lovey? I don't know. What if they try to force themselves to be a part of your world? Oh, yeah, I gotta go. Then call her Ariel from the Little Mermaid. Sprinkle, sprinkle. I gotta go. Bye.